Yes, so hello everyone, nice to be here. My name is Egle Gedrimiene and I'm a PhD researcher at the University of Oulu, Finland. And today I'm going to present some of the results from my thesis research, which I have done together with my colleagues and my supervisors, and you can see their names also listed here. So my presentation focuses on artificial intelligence and the possibilities and ethical considerations that we have to take into account when developing and using these tools. And first of all, I would like to maybe start my presentation with the question and invite you to think a little bit of the first image that comes to your mind when you think about AI-based guidance. So for many of you, it might be actually something from Deirdre's presentation or our earlier presentations today. However, for me, probably one of the first things that I think about and one of the metaphors that comes to my mind is this amazing magical hat from the book and movie series Harry Potter. So if you're not familiar with this story, this magical hat is used in this magical school for all of the students of the school. And the hat works in a way that it is placed on a student's head, and then it reads all the interests, abilities, and desires of the student and directs the student to the most suitable faculty at their school. So the hat, I think, provides us with quite a simple to understand, yet quite believable picture of really advanced technology that has all this data that can read a person, that can understand a person, and then guide them through different kind of stages at their lives. And the technology itself, it can actually be so advanced that at some point it does become inseparable from magic. So this is the picture that popular culture provides us when it comes to really advanced guidance technology. However, if we look at the research, we see that there is really not so much published research on AI-based guidance yet. I would say that there is probably much more development ongoing in real life than there is published research. And for example, Deirdre has presented this amazing tool that is being developed and implemented in UK. However, we know that different kind of technologies, not only AI, were utilized more widely during COVID, since the beginning of COVID pandemic. And also this OECD observatory provides many different kind of nice examples of such technologies. We also know that the need for guidance is also increasing. People are making more and more different kind of transitions in their lives, meaning that also more people will be using these kind of technologies. However, the research on AI-based guidance is only starting to emerge, and we are still we still need to understand a lot about these AI tools, about the users of these tools, and also the interactions between both of these. So in our research, we were investigating this one specific AI-based career guidance tool, which was providing education recommendations to users. And we were interested to see what are user experiences of using this tool. Specifically, we wanted to know that in what kind of life circumstances people would use such kind of technology. We also were interested to see how users themselves describe the benefits that they get from utilizing these tools. We were also interested if users understand and trust this kind of guidance that they are given. And also, we checked how the user age related to all of these experiences. So as participants, we had 106 real clients of career guidance services in Finland, and majority of those people were young people around 17 years of age. Majority again had the basic education completed and they were in further education on training. So we have asked our participants to try out this guidance tool and then report their feedback and experiences in an online questionnaire. So here are also some screenshots from this tool that was developed. The tool was a proof of concept tool, so it was not, implemented like, for example, in the previous presentation. However, it was just developed for research purposes, working as an illustration of how can Finnish national registry data be utilized for creation of guidance services. So the tool illustrated the use of these national guidance services, and also the users were able to indicate their career interest and disinterest in different ways. And in the end, the tool provided up to 10 different kind of study recommendations, which consisted of study programs that could be interesting for the users, and also specific study places where that program could be studied. So we asked to provide our users their feedback and evaluations with closed and open-ended questions, meaning that we had both qualitative and quantitative data for the analysis. And we analyzed the qualitative data with content analysis, identifying important themes and grouping and looking at the content and the essence of the experiences of our users. And for quantitative data, we have used some descriptive statistics and path analysis to find the connections and influences between variables. So first of all, we asked our participants to specify in what kind of life situations they would be using this kind of recommendations, this kind of tool. And we got multiple different kind of answers. For example, users saying that they would use this tool when they are unemployed, or if they have dropped out of their studies. Also in situations when they wanted to change the direction of their studies. So they were not happy with the things they were studying and they wanted to find something else. As well as in situations where they were interested to find further education. So different kind of life situations that could be summarized as transitional life situations that are often characterized by uncertainty, meaning that potential users of this tool would seek to use this tool and follow these recommendations when they are experiencing a lot of uncertainty in their lives and they are in these transitional life situations. Also, some of the users emphasized that the tool would be most suitable for younger users. So, for example, they have mentioned comprehensive school students and upper secondary school students. Next, we also wanted to know how do users themselves describe the benefits of using such kind of tool. And we got 5 main categories that emerge as important to our users. So first of all, and this is not surprising probably, users wanted to get information. They expected to get information about careers, training possibilities, different levels of education. However, this was not the only thing that our users expected. We also saw that it's not sort of enough for them to get the information, career information, but they also expected support to think about that information, to analyze that information, and to make sense of that information. Like, for example, here, a user says that, okay, the tool makes you think about different fields, or it helps to compare study fields and different levels of education. Another very important category that emerged was diversity. And we saw that for our users, diversity was really a priority and a very big expectation that they expected to get from utilizing this tool. And they have expressed this in different kind of ways. So some users have, for example, complained saying that the tool does not provide enough diverse options for them. Others have said the opposite, emphasizing that, well, the tool already provides different kind of opportunities that they have not thought about before. So for our users, it was really important to get ideas and recommendations that a little bit put them sort of like out of the box, out of the ideas that they knew already or have considered before. Further, we saw that users also expect to get some guidance. So they expected to get assurance and confidence to make their decisions, as for example, this one young person says here. And finally, there was a category of self-reflection. So it was not a very prominent category. However, there was some people who said that they see possibilities also to understand themselves better, for example, through understanding the interest better. So these were 5 categories that emerge as user-described benefits and expectations for utilizing these type of tool. And finally, we were interested to know if our users understood where these recommendations are coming from and if they trusted this sort of guidance. And what we saw was that the recommendations were much more seen as trustworthy than they were clear. So meaning that the tool was evaluated as more trustworthy than it was clear. More than 50% of our users have said that they do not really understand where these recommendations are based in. So they couldn't really say that they understand where these recommendations are coming from. Interestingly, we also saw that understanding the basis of the recommendation was not really so important for users, especially when thinking about the intentions to follow these advices that were provided by the tool. Here we can see that the users would consider applying, for example, to suggested study places, even though they did not really understand where these recommendations are based in. Age was also interestingly related. Here we can see that younger users claim that these guidance recommendations were more accurate and also that they understand the basis of the recommendations better. So again, unfortunately, we cannot, we do not have a data to check if really they understood the basis of recommendations better. However, this was the claim of the users themselves. Okay, so now coming to the conclusions, what kind of things we have learned about this all-knowing magical hat that provides career advice? Our results suggest that potential users of these kind of AI guidance tools might be vulnerable users. So they are most likely in a transitional life situation. They are experiencing a lot of uncertainty in their lives. They are also possibly younger users. And as you have seen from our results, there is also a reason to suspect that many of these users are not maybe looking very critically at these tools as well. We also saw that users had multiple expectations regarding the use of this type of tool. They expected the tool to provide career information and expected the tool to make sense of that information, to help to make sense of that information. They expected the tool to diversify their ideas on what is possible for them to study, what could be matching with their interest, what could be, career possibilities open for them. They also expected assurance and encouragement. And as a final note, I would also say that more research is still needed to understand if the users of such kind of AI guidance tools, if they are at the risk of over trusting the advice, and especially if younger people are in greater risk to overtrust this type of guidance, especially as AI tools, they develop and become more advanced and more convincing. Okay, so like I said, this presentation was based on some research that we have done, my colleagues, I have done for my thesis. There is one published article. If you are interested, you can check it online. It's already available, and another one should be coming soon.